When God shows himself to be wonderful, true, just, and faithful, sometimes you have to scratch your head and just say, Lord, I don't know how you did it, but I'm glad you did it. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a scratch your head moment when you look back at what God has done and you said to yourself, Lord, I don't know how you did it, but I'm glad you did it? If that's you, just type, I'm glad God did it. I'm glad God did it. Hey, blessings to you all, family. Today, we're going to look at Ruth chapter number 3. We're going to watch how God begins to work out a situation of impossible and turn it into something miraculous. It's a head-scratching moment, but I'm glad God did it. If you haven't done so, go ahead and like this now. Share this with someone. Let them know that we're in here. This should be a quick broadcast, but it is going to be an impactful broadcast. I'm going to do a lot of talking today, specifically communicating with you as much as I can today for those who are in the live, for those who are watching this on a replay. Blessings. I hope that this finds you well and blessed. In the book of Ruth, chapter number 3, we have two key people who have begun to emerge. The first person is Naomi, and the second person is Ruth. Naomi is the widowed wife, and she's also lost her two sons as well. They died. She's bitter. She feels like God has dealt bitterly with her. In fact, she says to call me Mara. God has dealt bitterly with me. She goes back home, and before she goes home, her two daughter-in-laws, Orpah and Ruth, make a decision. Ruth decides to go back home with Naomi. Orpah decides to go where she came from. So while the two are moving on together, walking together, Ruth goes out to the fields to begin to make money. She has to find a way to help the household so that they can eat. What she decides to do is go to the fields and what's called glean wheat. That means to go out and pick up, leftovers out of the field so that her family can eat. She comes across a field by a man who owns it named Boaz, who happens to be a relative of Naomi. Boaz looks upon Ruth with favor, and then the story begins to further evolve from this. When we look at Ruth chapter number 3, I want you to keep this in mind. The favor of the Lord is better than money, status, or any position that you can gain in life. Help somebody to remember that by typing this in the comment section now. Type, the favor of the Lord is better. The favor of the Lord is better. The favor of the Lord is better. Let's go ahead and pick up on Ruth chapter number 3. Let's find out what's happening. Come on in. We'll be walking through this together. Also, if you haven't done so, for those who are here live, say hi to a couple people in the live stream now. Johnny, great to see you. Kareem, great to see you so much for choosing to spend this time today with me in the Word of God. Ruth chapter 3. Here we go. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And no, it is not, and now is not Boaz our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winneth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done, until he, excuse me, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark thy place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet, and lie down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me, I will do. Okay, let's stop there. Naomi is telling Ruth to prepare herself for a blessing. Okay? In order to understand this, you have to go back to Ruth chapter 2 and comb over what occurred. You can look at the last broadcast and find out exactly what happened in Ruth chapter 2, but here's a snapshot. Ruth gleans in the field of Boaz. Boaz is older than Ruth. Boaz is also the kindred or kinsman of Naomi, or at least Naomi's husband. Okay? According to the laws, the Jewish laws at that time, there was responsibilities for near kinsmen to take care of the family. Okay? Kind of like if the father passed away, the older brother had the responsibility of assuming that the family was taken care of. Well, if the father had passed away and the brother had passed away, then it would go to a male relative to take care of the family. Okay? All of this is important because Naomi understands the culture that they are living in. What does culture mean? Well, culture is a set of beliefs that a group of people hold and that they practice. It's how they live their day-to-day life. Naomi understands the culture, and she understands what it takes to be someone who is considered presentable or someone who is considered to be wife material and someone who is not wife material. Why would Naomi tell Ruth to go wash herself and go down after he has eaten and, do whatever he tells you to do after that? Uncover his feet and do whatever he tells you to do. Well, she understands the type of man that Boaz is, and she understands what he is looking for. One of the things that we need to understand, and I want to talk to the older women out there, the women who have gone through life, the women who may have been through a divorce or two, the women who may have been in a relationship that has failed, the women who may have been widowed, or the women who may have lost sons. I want to share something with you. God does not have you here just for any reason at all, but instead, He has moved people into your life so that you can help them grow. He has moved people into your life so that you can help the young ladies move on into a position that far exceeds what you have done. Don't think that it is strange that there are people who are looking, mother, for leadership from you based on what you have gone through. Don't think that it is strange that you see people who remind you of yourself. God has placed them in your life so that you can help them grow. Here's the next thing that I want you to type in the comment section. Type this: I want to help people grow. I want to help people grow. I see a super chat. Thank you, Mr. Ruru. Thank you so much for the super chat. I want to help people grow. Naomi is helping Ruth grow. She is telling Ruth what to do and how to do it. Do not go down there, Ruth, smelling like the field. Ruth, in verse number 3 of chapter 3 of the book of Ruth, Ruth, wash yourself. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to sound malicious when I say this, but again, I want to talk to you mothers out there. You mother figures, you aunties, older women. There are women out there who are much younger than you who don't understand the value of hygiene. All they want to do is wear nice clothes and put on jewelry. All they want to do is put on. They don't understand the value of hygiene, and moreover, they may have never had a mother to show them this is how you clean. Naomi tells Ruth, wash yourself. Clean up, Ruth. Don't let this moment pass you by. Don't blow it with bad hygiene, Ruth. Ruth, you are a hard-working woman. Wash yourself. That's wash. She knows the type of man he is, and she knows what he's looking for. Now, what else does she say? She says, Ruth, verse number 3, put thy raiment upon thee. Do you see that? What is a raiment, by the way? Type that in the comment section. What is a raiment? Ruth, go wash yourself. And then Ruth, put thy raiment upon me. What is that? What is a raiment? Put on some clothes, Ruth. Put on some clothes. Wash therefore, anoint thee, put on a raiment, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man. Sarah, do you see what's happening here? Wash yourself, Ruth. Anoint yourself, Ruth. Don't forget you are a child of God. No, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Or put on lotions or anoint yourself, Ruth. And then watch this. Get down there to where he is at, but don't make yourself known unto him. Why would she say that? Why would she say, don't make yourself known unto them? Here's another thing that the mothers in the church need to understand that we are lacking in this next generation. She tells her, Naomi tells Ruth, don't go into the place being too forward with the man. Don't go into the place getting all in his face. Have you ever seen a woman who is too forward? Have you ever seen someone who is too in your face, sometimes they're called too thirsty? Have you ever seen someone who is too over the top, too ambitious to get the particular man? She tells him, no, Ruth, don't be that way. Okay? She knows the type of man that he is. And by you going down there showing too much skin, by you going down there smelling a certain type of way, by you going down there being too forward, all in his face, presenting yourself, what that is doing is it's going to turn him off. I'm not Naomi, but I'm going to share something with some of the young women who are out there. Listen to me closely. If you really want to find a man, let me be clear about this. Let me even clean this statement up. If you really want to be a wife of a good husband, if that's what you want to be, then carry yourself now as if you are married, so that that man does not mistake you for someone who is of loose morals or promiscuity. Let me help you out. Don't walk around with too little clothing on. hmm Don't walk around smelling a certain kind of way. hmm Wash yourself on a regular basis. Don't go and get into every man's face smiling or hugging up on different men, because what you're doing is you're sending a message that you're of loose morals. You could be anybody's woman, and a real respectable man does not want somebody who can just be anyone's woman. Can I get some help out there? If I'm telling you the truth, would somebody just mind typing amen? Can we make that plain? Naomi is teaching Ruth how to make herself presentable so that she can move from being a widow to being married. Remember what I said earlier. Naomi and Ruth were in the same position. They both have lost their husbands. Naomi lost her sons. So the both of these ladies are in the same position. Naomi is older than Ruth, and Ruth has chosen to follow Naomi. So Naomi is Ruth's ministry. No matter how Naomi is feeling, she has an obligation. She feels it inside of her to help Ruth get better. You're going to watch how this turns out later on, not only for Ruth, but for Naomi. So what we find out is in chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, Naomi begins to help Ruth grow. She helps her by making sure that her future is set up the right way, and she's giving her specific details on how to grow. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 6. And she, Ruth, went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law had bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was, what's that word say? Merry. He went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. So she follows these instructions of Naomi. And after Boaz had eaten and drank, his heart was merry. He was feeling good. Naomi knew that the man was going to be feeling good after he had eaten and drinking, and she knew at what point when to catch him in a place where he is in high spirits. Okay, she knows this, and she also knows that what goes up is going to come down. What this means is he at some point was going to go to sleep. Have you ever seen somebody after they got done eating and say they had a really big meal, like at a barbecue or maybe at a cookout or a family reunion? What typically happens after they eat a really big meal? Go ahead, type it in the comment. What happens when you eat a really big meal? You got it, okay, girl. Go to sleep. Yeah, Mr. Ruru said, yeah, you go to sleep. Yep, sleepy. That's right, Amy. You go to sleep. You would know this. Yeah, Thanksgiving nap time. Absolutely, Helena. You see, Helena, a woman who's been around long enough, has studied enough, and understands that one of the ways to a man is through his stomach. Okay, she knows this. She's not sitting there arguing or complaining, or she's not trying to give him sass, or trying to put him in his place. She ain't trying to make. She just understands there are patterns that go on. This is only some older women know this. Okay, so she tells Ruth to do this, and Ruth follows these instructions. And what does Ruth do after he lays down? She quietly goes in and lays where? Come on, you got to talk to me on this one now. Where does she lay down at? Verse number 7. Who's going to be the first one to type it? You got it, Mr. Ruru. She lays right by his feet. Okay? Now, the thing that is so beautiful about this passage is the things that don't go on in the passage. This is how you can tell that the ministry of Naomi is really effective in the life of Ruth. This is how you can tell that the ministry of the older woman is affecting the younger woman. Brothers and sisters, and again, I want to talk to you mothers out there, you aunties, you older women. Your ministry will happen even while you might be in pain. But the beautiful part about the ministry is what happens, when you see what does not happen to those people who God has entrusted you with. When you are able to help them avoid pain and pitfalls that you may have been ensnared by. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Naomi didn't tell Ruth to go down to where he was while he was sleeping, take off her clothes, and lay in the bed with him. No. That would have put her in a different predicament, and that sleeping would have turned into a promiscuous time. Naomi didn't tell Ruth to get into the man's face or to try and sit next to him while he was eating at the table, trying to talk to him and trying to hold on his shoulder and trying to be in every camera or every selfie if they had it back. No. She said, just play the background. And when he's gone, sleeping, you do this. You see, Naomi helped Ruth avoid promiscuity. Naomi helped Ruth avoid having a bad reputation, because there's other maidens there. You know what this means? There's other people there vying for the eye of Boaz. He's rich. He's older. He's eligible. Naomi says, no, don't go out like that. You're more than a one-night stand. You're more than a cheap thrill on a merry night. You're more than something that's going to just be jumped off of and moved. You're more than that. Follow my instructions and you will be successful and move on to the place of wife that you rightfully and should be in. I just have to stop right here, and I just have to just preach for about 20 seconds. I hope you don't mind. Let me just talk now to the younger women. You are more than loose skin that's being shown in the sun. You are more than short shorts walking around all day long. You are more than cleavage. You are more than a hairstyle. You are more than a promiscuous time for the evening. You are more than a one-night stand. You are more than eye candy. You are more than just being shown as a flower or a trophy. You are someone who God created you to be the wife or the helpmeet of someone who is going to be The same for you. You are supposed to be someone who is carrying themselves as a wife even now, and not someone who everybody has had a turn with. You are supposed to be Mrs. and you fill in the blank, and not Disneyland. Disneyland, everybody has been there once, but Mrs. is somebody who has your back. What Naomi has shown Ruth to do is to be a Mrs. somebody and not Disneyland. You're not a ride. You're not an attraction. Let me help you again even further. Because once they have rode the ride a few times, I'm not coming back to it. I'm going over to something else that causes me a thrill. The older women understand this. Whether or not they followed the instructions or not when they went through it doesn't matter. But if they have committed themselves to helping the next generation, then they have committed themselves to making sure that you don't get put in that position that once, are you following what I'm saying, has befallen them. Ruth goes in, lays at his feet, and then she says this when he gets up. Verse 9, chapter 3, verse 9. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look here. In my commentary, here's what it says. It says this: as a pledge that he would marry her. That's what that means. Spread therefore over thine handmaid is a pledge that he would marry her. This expression is used of God's relation to Israel in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse number 8. The reason for Ruth's request is that Boaz was a near kinsman. Okay. For Christ as near kinsman, redeemer, the responsibilities of the near kinsman, or redeemer, included redeeming family property that had changed ownership, marrying childless widows to raise up children in their dead husband's name, according to the law of the Levirate marriage. See note chapter 1, verse 11 and 12. It's here in this Bible. When there was no brother to raise up children in the name of the deceased, the responsibility was extended to the next of kin. Ruth's action was in accordance with the law, Levirate marriage. Remember, I was talking about culture. That's what Ruth was doing, which required the initiative of the widow in seeking the marriage. Ruth was indicating that night her desire to have Boaz, who was given every evidence of willingness to perform the duties of kinsman or redeemer. Okay? So, all that is to say, the culture that was set up at the time required the near kinsman to take advantage or to take care of the family. Okay? You remember, Ruth is not an Israelite. Ruth is a Moabite. The Moabite left everything and followed Naomi, the Israelite, and was being trained by Naomi to live in an Israelite way. Brothers and sisters, God will take someone out of a culture, out of a place, out of a city, out of an environment, out of a sinful way of life. He will connect them with you so that you can teach them the ways of God. Don't be bitter. I'm talking to you pastors now. I'm talking to you mentors now. I'm talking to the same group of older women I've been talking to. Don't be bitter, don't be mad, and don't be upset when you help someone else grow and they appear to gain more than what you have gotten. When they appear to be blessed, don't be upset. Instead, be happy that you led them and helped them receive the blessing that they were able to receive. Let me explain to you how this applies to the passage. According to the Levirate marriage law here, the cultural law, the near of kinsman had a responsibility to marry the deceased brothers or the deceased brother's wife, so that the brother's name would not die in the land. That's just what they did at this time. But there were stipulations in there, right? If she was child, or if she didn't have children, this could happen. Okay? Naomi was disqualified from this because Naomi had what? 2 sons. Okay? According to my study of this law, and again, I'm not Jewish, but according to my study of this law, Naomi was disqualified because she had 2 sons. The 2 sons died. Okay? This only took place if the woman didn't have children. Okay? This was something that took place. And again, this is according to my study of this particular marriage right here. So I'm not Jewish. I wasn't brought up in this culture. So if I miss something, hey, let me know. Just send me an email. But according to my studies of this, the person could not have children, the wife, in order for this to go on. So that's qualified Naomi. But Ruth was childless. Okay? So Ruth could have married Boaz based on this law. Now, there is also some things that would have disqualified Ruth from being able to be married had she had gone about this process the wrong way. This is where Naomi comes back in again, helping guide Ruth into a place of blessing. Okay. Everybody understand what I'm talking about so far? If so, just give me a thumbs up. So the thing that we want to know, the thing I want you to grasp from Ruth chapter 3 so far is this. Naomi is helping Ruth to grow. Naomi is mentoring Ruth to avoid pitfalls or things that ensnared her. Naomi is helping Ruth to get better in life, even though Naomi herself may not immediately see a blessing. Second thing you see is Ruth, the younger woman, follows the instructions of the older woman, and she grows because of this. Ruth, the younger woman, follows the instructions or advice of the older woman, and she moves to a position where she's going to be blessed. Ruth comes in, lays at Boaz's feet, covers, and I can almost see this beautiful picture of protection, of commitment. Let me just talk to you just for a minute here, and I don't know why I'm going down this direction, but let me do it. Listen, ladies, if you really want to be something special to him, then show him that you are committed to him and nobody else. Remember, nobody wants somebody who is in everybody's face. Nobody wants somebody who has had relations with everyone. Show him that you are committed to him. And you're not just somebody who could be anybody's. She came in, Ruth, covered his feet while he was sleeping. And in my mind, I can almost see Ruth keeping the other maidens away. I'm covering him now. This one is right here. This is who I'm protecting. This is whose back I have. Don't even bother looking this direction. Don't make me act outside of my character. This is who I'm protecting. Right now, he is in a position where he is inebriated, if that's the right word. He is in a form of sleep or slumber. He is right now, he's not making decisions. I'm watching over him while he's sleeping. I have his back. You other ones with the little skirts on, you other ones with the halter tops on, you other ones with the belly showing shirts, keep on moving. I am covering his feet. This is going to be my husband. I have my skirt here. And watch this. I can almost see Ruth dusting off the bugs that try to crawl into the man's hair as he's sleeping. I can almost see Ruth swatting away the flies, making sure nobody comes. I can almost see Ruth in this beautiful picture, showing him, I am what you have been looking for. If you want to be a wife, carry yourself like a wife now. Let's move on. Verse number 10. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast shown more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, insomuch that thou followeth not who? What does that say right there in verse number 10? Insomuch that thou followest not. You don't think he hadn't been paying attention? You got it, Dominic. That thou followeth not young men, whether rich or whether poor or rich. Ladies, the man is always watching. He's always seeing how you carry yourself. He has watched and identified you way even before you decided to come over and present yourself to him. He has determined in his heart and in his mind if this is somebody who I could be with or not, based on your actions and based on your previous reputation. He, when he woke up, decided to tell her what he had been already observing. I have observed that you had been chasing after different men. Young ones, I've observed that. I've observed that you haven't been going after the poor ones and the rich ones. I've observed this. Blessed be you. The reason why he has not approached you is because you have not made yourself approachable. Guide me, Holy Spirit. This is the next thing that I want you to type in the comment section. Type this: I will make myself cleavable. I will make myself cleavable. I will make myself cleavable. The Bible says, for this reason, a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. Okay? If you are a woman who has surrounded herself with multiple men, if you are a woman who has multiple partners, if you are a woman who is living a promiscuous life, if you are a woman who is doing things like at every party or drinking or a bunch of one night stands, or you got a bunch of pictures on social media that's real, that's real provocative, you are making yourself not able to be cleaved to. Because in order for that man to get close to you and really feel safe and secure with you, he's got to get through all of these different people in your life. He's got to get through your reserves. He's got to get through your side guys, your side dudes. He's got to get through your on again, off again. He's got to get through the lack of clothes that you wear. He's got to go through all of that stuff in order to cleave to you and become his wife. You're not making yourself cleavable if you are someone who is presenting yourself as a promiscuous person. Now, we're only using the females now because this story happens between an older female and a younger female. But let's not get this concept twisted. The same thing applies for men as well. If you are over there surrounding yourself by a bunch of women who have little to no clothes on, if you're sleeping around with a bunch of different women who are just giving it to you because they don't know what else to do, if you're someone who is spending time with her and her and her and her, you got one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you're somebody who has a silver tongue who likes to seduce women, knowing that you're not going to commit, you are not making yourself cleavable. Because when that wife is there who is watching you like you're watching her, because Naomi, the older woman, and Ruth, the younger woman, both had eyes on Boaz. So she's studying you like you have watched her. And if you are surrounded by a bunch of different females, she cannot cleave to you, and neither should she cleave to you, because she cannot get through all the excess junk that you have. Make yourself cleavable. Understand that. Excess stuff that you have on your computer that needs to be deleted is preventing her from cleaving to you. Because now she's got to cover you and your back while you are trying to give energy to the stuff on the computer. The stuff that's over here, or the women over there. Make yourself cleavable. And so anyway, verse number 12. Or excuse me, no, back it up. Sorry. Let me read 10 again. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter than at the end, and beginning in so much as thou followeth not young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not, I will do to thee all that thou requestest, or requireth. For all the city of my people thus know that thou art a virtuous woman. What did that say? All the city knows that she is a virtuous woman. Did that say all the city? All the city knows this. So in other words, Boaz wasn't just the only one looking and watching her. Naomi wasn't the only one looking and watching her. Everybody in the city was watching her to see how she carried herself. Mhm. If you want to be someone of value, listen to me closely. If you want to be someone of high value, if you want to be someone of wife or husband material, if you want to be someone who is respected, listen to me. Don't involve yourself with junk. Don't involve yourself with junk. Don't go out and waste time with people who aren't going anywhere. Don't go out and spend time in a promiscuous life. Don't go out and do what's called what I've called homie hopping, hopping from one homie to the next. Don't go out and do what's honey hopping, hopping from one honey to the next. Carry yourself now as if you wish to be married. Do not involve yourself in junk. And then the whole city's going to know you are a virtuous woman. Let's keep on going so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Okay, verse number 12. Now true it is, and now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. Howbeit, there is a kinsman nearer than I. Verse 13. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he will perform unto thee the part of the kinsman well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of the kinsman to thee, then I will do the part of the kinsman to thee. And the Lord, as the Lord liveth, lie down until the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning, and she arose up before one could know another. And he said, let it not be known that a woman came into the floor. And he said, bring the veil that thou hast upon thee, and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley, and laid it on her. And she went into the city. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, who art thou, my daughter? And she told her all the man had done to her. And she said, these 6 measures of barley gave he me, for he said to me, go not empty unto thy mother-in-law. Then said she, sit still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day. If you have a pencil or a highlighter, highlight verse number 18. Then she said, sit, my daughter, until thou know how this matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day. Ooh, that's powerful. We're going to come to that, back to that. But I need to fill you in first on what we just glossed over, okay, or what we just read, excuse me. Okay. Boaz says to Naomi, after he sees her laying on the ground and covering his feet, he says, Naomi, I know you're a virtuous woman. You weren't pursuing after younger men. You weren't doing these other things that you could have been doing. My commentary, my version of the story goes like this. Ruth, I see you. And Ruth, you are who I want to marry. You are the woman who I know will protect. You are the woman who I know I can trust. You're the woman who I can give my name to and feel comfortable with. You're the woman who I can spend the rest of my life with, knowing that if I am in a position where I can't make decisions for myself, you will have my back. You are the ride or die. You are the one who has my best interests in mind. And I just have to wonder, are you preparing yourself, or are you the type of woman who is the ride or die? Or are you the jump off? Are you the woman who is prepared to have his back, even in a time when he is not able to make decisions for himself? Are you the woman who will pray until he comes back to life? Or are you the woman who's going to pull the plug when he's on life support and try to get what he has acquired in life? Are you the woman who will make sure that he can trust in you, his heart is safe in you, he can confide in you? Or are you someone who he has to clam up around because he knows your motives are ill? Are you the woman who he knows is going to represent him wherever she is? Or are you the woman who's showing too much skin and we can't even tell if you're married or not? Boaz observes all of this about Ruth. And because he observes all of this in his own time and in his own way, he comes to this conclusion. Yes, I've seen everything I needed to see. I will carry on and marry you. Why is this important? Because Boaz now has some work to do. In verses number 13, 14, 15, he now informs Ruth, sadly, there's somebody else, according to this culture, that has rights to confirm or deny everything here of this Levite marriage. So in other words, Boaz says, according to the culture, there's another person ahead of me. I've identified that I want to be with you. So now I'm going to work on my end to make sure that I get married to you. You see, there are men out there, good men, wonderful men, who just want a reason to work for your hand in marriage. But the sad part about it is, the woman, and talking to you younger women, you keep presenting yourself in a way that he can't feel comfortable knowing that that you are worth all of the work that he's going to put in to be with you. There are women out there who are carrying themselves in such a way that he doesn't know if this is going to be a good investment of my time or not. And you should ask yourself that question, whether you're male or female. Is this person going to be a good investment of my time? I'm not just thinking about today. Is this woman who is so good looking, so hot, so fine now, 20 years from now, going to be the woman who's going to be a good parent to my children? 40 years from now, is she going to be a good grandparent to my children? And God's will, 60 years from now, will she be a good great-grandparent? Or is she just a good hot piece right now? These are things you should ask yourself. Does she have the qualities that you can build a legacy with? Or is she just someone for right now? Does he have the qualities of a good father? Does he have the qualities to be a good grandfather? Is he have the qualities to be a good grandfather? Or is he just a hot piece right now? And so Boaz identifies that Ruth has those qualities, and he's willing to go to work for Ruth, and he does. Watch this. Now we go back to verse number 18, the one I asked you to highlight, and this is where we end. This is where we end our dialogue. Naomi says, "Sit still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest. For the man will not be in rest." I repeat, for the man will not be in rest until he has finished the thing this day. Be still, Ruth, because he's working for you. Be still, Ruth. He's not comfortable now until he has the woman who God has created for him. Where do we start with this? If Naomi has not ever given any better advice, this is the advice that we should all hold on to now. Younger females, listen to what this older female just told her. She told her, Ruth, to be still. And in my commentary, be still and let God work. Be still, be patient, and let God work this out. That's just going to have to preach for 30 seconds. I hope you don't mind, because I can't move on until I get this point going. You don't mind if I preach this for 30 seconds. Listen to you, to your females, listen to me very closely. To you women who want to get married, even to you younger men, listen to me very closely. Type this in the comment section. Be still and let God work. You can't continue to keep trying to help God out by going out and dating all these different various men, knowing that they're never going to have anything for you or any future for you. Be still and wait on what God has already promised you. Stop going on playing games with yourself, trying to collect insurance policies for yourself just in case this one does not work out. If God has presented this to you, be still and let God do his work. While you are waiting, that's a discipline all in itself. I'm not waiting and dating. I'm not waiting and mating. Be still and let God do his work. So don't come tell me, honey, that you're getting ready to get married and your wife material, but when God says to wait for a certain season of time, you're over here at 2 o'clock in the morning moaning and groaning with someone who you know you don't want to be seen with. You're not being still and waiting. You are jumping ahead of God. Be still and let God do the work. Come on, brother. You talking about you want to be married and you want her, but while it's 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, or while it's this, or you see this girl, you got this girl on the down low over here. You're not waiting as a husband will wait for his wife. No, you are fooling yourself. Be still and let God do the work. Patience. Practice it. Stop being so thirsty. You see, the truth is, Mr. Ruru, if we're willing to be honest with ourselves, we all are guilty from this. Can anybody just raise their hand and say you've been guilty of trying to move ahead of God? I have. And it wound up costing me an awful lot. I never will forget God telling me specifically, Michael, just remember what I told you. Remember. But I decided to go through with it anyway. And it wound up costing me an awful lot. Wait on the person that God has for you. Don't get detracted by side chicks or side dudes. Listen to the ministry or to the elders that God has placed in your life. Naomi was placed in Ruth's. Naomi did her job. We're going to get later on to how this blessed Naomi. But right now, Ruth is receiving the blessing beyond her comprehension. She's marrying a rich man. Or excuse me, there is a rich man who wants to marry her. He's older, so he's not playing younger games. She is going to be in a position where she couldn't even imagine being at all. The last part about this, for you younger ladies, is probably the most important part. At least something you need to know about men. I'm going to give you this game for free. I'm gonna let you understand how this works. Really, it's not a game. It's facts. I'm gonna give it to you for free. It's right here in the Bible. I'm just pointing it out to you. The last part of this verse, Ruth chapter 3, verse number 18, says this: For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day. If a man is motivated to be with you, he will not stop until he can at least get a chance to love you. Let me clear that up for you, please, so there's no misunderstanding. I'm not talking about being a stalker. I'm not talking about being someone who is of ill will. I'm talking about being in love. If a man is truly in love with you, he will not stop until he expresses that love to you. He cannot be at rest. Boaz wants to marry Ruth. He is not going to be at rest until he finishes. And he is married to Ruth. Ruth has already made it clear, I want to marry you. Boaz has made it clear he will marry her. The man is motivated by the love between what these two share. And he's not going to be at rest until it happens. I seen one comment said there's a big difference between lust and love. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Lust is gone like that. Love lasts forever. Lust is fleeting. Love is sustaining. Lust happens in one night. Love lasts the rest of your life. Boaz and Ruth love each other. That's what I believe. That's what I'm seeing, reading between the lines. And he's not at rest until he can be with his love forever. As we bring this to a close, family, it's very clear. If he loves you, or if she loves you, they will make themselves presentable for you. And if he's made a commitment to you, and she's made a commitment to you, he won't be able to rest until he gets to the love of his life. So you don't have to ask yourself about why he's not committing himself to you after 3 or 4 years. You don't have to ask yourself, is this going to happen after 5 years? You have your answer. He probably is not comfortable with you based on what he's already observed in the past. If you're with each other for 5 years or so and he ain't committed to you, probably because he's not comfortable with you. Same thing for her. If she's not committed to you or she's not protecting your back, it's probably because she's not comfortable with you. Here's the thing about men. Sometimes men keep toys around to play with. Sometimes this happens. They keep toys to play with. Because if he identified in you that you are something that he needed, he will not rest until the two of you are sharing the rest of your days out in love. See, brothers and sisters, I want to pray today, and I just want to pray that God's will be done. See, there's somebody here today who identifies with Ruth. Somebody here who identifies with Naomi. There may even be somebody here who identifies with Boaz. I don't know. But what I do know is, from this point forward, God's will be done. So if you're somebody today who is in a situation in life, I don't know why God has me here. I don't know what his ministry is, but I know I don't want to miss it. I don't know where God is leading me to, but I know I want to go where he desires. I want to move to the blessing. I want to pray with you today. I just want to pray that God's will be done. If that's you, if you're here today, just say this with me. Say, dear Lord, today I admit I need you. I want your will to be done in my life. Remove anything that is making me uncleavable. Any pain that's been eroding my heart. Any thoughts that have been destroying my process of thinking. Anything internally or externally, people in my life. Lord, remove those things from me. Reveal them to me so that I may be able to remove them, so that your will can be done. Forgive me of any sins I've committed against you, whether they have been by deed, by thought, or by omission. And from this point forward, Let me do your will, your way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Blessings to you all, family. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. A little bit longer on the broadcast, but I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, Sav. Thank you. Hey, Nancy. Great to have you here again today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. And thank you. Thank you, Helena, for being here. Thank you, Josh. Blessings to you all. Hey, if you all didn't notice, I haven't named this, I haven't put a title on this particular sermon yet. I think I'm going to start doing this more and more. I want to just ask you all, what do you think I should title this sermon? I just went over Ruth Chapter 3. And for those here who may have, may have experience with this, hey, let me know. What do you think? What do you think I should name this? What would be a good title for this? Just type it in the comment sections. Let me know. All right, type in the description. I'll type something in the description box so people can look at this later on. But I think I'm going to do that more. I'm going to just put in the verse that I'm looking at and chapter, and then I'll just go back later and put a title on it. All right, so let me know what title you think it should be, and maybe we can have a little fun with this. All right, CDR says the virtuous woman. Ah, yes. Who can find a virtuous woman? All right. Thank you, Your Majesty Pie. Oh, I like that, Lamont. Ruth, another chance. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so just let me know. We have a little fun with it. And if your title's, maybe the one we might pick, put it in there, all right? You might see your title up there. Other than that, just feel free, give me a holler over there. Send a message over to our email at info@bibletalk2.com. Thank you so much for putting that in there, Dominic. I appreciate that. Yes, we got Zoom meetings as well, Friday and Saturdays. Thank you, Felipe. Come to those. We don't preach for dollars. We preach for change. That means we don't care about the money we get. We just want you to change your life for the better once you grab a hold of the Word of God. Okay? We do have a Patreon for those who want to support that way. All right? My Patreon account is BibleTalk2.com. As well, if somebody could put that in the chat, that'd be great. But other than that, hey, listen, enjoy the rest of your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right? Blessings to each and every one of you all. I will see you the next time that I see you. All right? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.